All right, Seth on Instagram. What is Pat Mahomes' dynasty value in a 6-point passing TD league?
It's certainly very high.
That's a big question.
Well, I mean,
like in a startup, what round do you think you would take Pat Mahomes? And obviously, if this was a 2-quarterback or Superflex league, you're talking in the first few picks.
Yeah,
you could. I know you're late quarterback, and I totally get that. I usually am too. But if I'm at the 3rd pick and Pat Mahomes is still on the board in a Superflex, I might be considering that. Otherwise, in a single quarterback league, it changes drastically for me, and I would say probably 3rd round would be the earliest I would consider taking him.
3rd round, Mike?
No, I would not take him in the 3rd round.
You'd wait?
Yeah.
Wow.
I would not take him in the 3rd round. And just by the way, like one thing we can actually agree on is in this question is 6-point passing touchdown. It doesn't matter.
Makes no difference.
Like if you're in a 4-point or
what
a 6-point.
What if you're in a 30-point per passing touchdown league?
Then it still doesn't matter unless it's Patrick Mahomes.
I guess it really does matter at that point.
Patrick Mahomes only gets 30 points per touchdown. Well, it doesn't matter because they all get 30.
Well,
yeah,
he
but
throws more
it actually does matter at that point because you would, if one quarterback touchdown accounted for all the same points that the rest of your team scored, then it wouldn't matter. We're trying to make the point
in a 30-point per passing touchdown league. They're rare.
But yes, the point is that the water level rises with the points scored. So whether it's 3, 4, 5, 6, as long as it's not outlandish, it's more about which quarterback you prefer.
He's the #1 dynasty quarterback.
Yeah, and the reason it's hard to take him even in the 3rd round, where you could argue mathematically the value is there for him compared to other people on the board there. But what you're forgetting about is that late in the drafts, you can get Jameis Winston, who's a young, bright future now that Arians has bought in and they're going to let Fitzpatrick go. Jameis Winston will cost you very little in a draft, and the players that are there in the 3rd round you're going to need for years and years and years at wide receiver and running back. So
I'm looking at they're good friends of ours, but Dynasty League Football, they track their own ADP, and right now Patrick Mahomes is an end of the 2nd round guy.
I see him at 35 in my list on another a consensus list.
But here are players. So if you take Patrick Mahomes, that means that you have passed on Travis Kelce, Dalvin Cook, Brandon Cooks, Zach Ertz, George Kittle, Kerryon Johnson, Sony Michel. These are guys all going after Patrick Mahomes. I
don't know if you named somebody on that list that I was like, yeah, definitely.
Oh, I feel like every single name I would definitely take over Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you look at a guy like Kelce over Patrick Mahomes. Like, I get Kelsey's value, but how long is that going to be?
Long enough.
29 years old, I believe, right now.
Yeah, if you're giving me at least
Mahomes is 23 years old.
Yeah, but you're giving me 3 years at least. Then 3 years at elite production, I would take that over.
I think you do see a variety of opinions on this though, because I've seen him as high as number 8 or 9 on on Dynasty startup drafts. Because if you could, let me put the question to you differently. And I know this is hard to do, but it's still a possibility. Let's say you pencil in 45 touchdowns a year for Pat Mahomes for the next 10 years.
Then I'd take him
Where
in the
would you
first
take him? You take him in the 1st round.
100%.
I think that's why you see the varieties. We don't have enough track record.
Yeah, and for everyone out there thinking, well, look what he did this year. He was a huge – I mean, when we're saying we're taking him in the 3rd round, we're not anticipating he throws 50 touchdowns next year. It's not going to happen.
No, but he could be entering the NFL at a time in which 40 is his baseline. He could be a 40-touchdown guy for his entire career.
He could, but if I'm having replaceability at the quarterback where I can take 2 or 3 guys, and I know in a matchup that they have a high probability of throwing 2, maybe even 3 touchdowns, and so my quarterback is throwing 33 touchdowns.
Yeah,
that's the route that I take.
No, and that's
I get the security that people feel of Patrick Mahomes. I mean, right now he is ironclad the way that people view him.
It could be an illusion though, because Carson Wentz, I mean, he looked like ironclad guaranteed guy last year. Things change.
Yes.
What happens if Tyreek Hill goes down at the beginning of next year?
Yes.
How many touchdowns does he throw? So, yeah, your point's well taken.
Congratulations. You made it to me. Click the subscribe button and see more of me.